What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to week 15 of the TRX-4 Sport Budget Build-Off. If you're not familiar with this series, Matt from the Scale Builders Guild and myself have been taking the TRX-4 Sport unassembled kit version and been upgrading it with $50 every week. And like I said, this is week 15. This is actually our last week of upgrades before the finale, which you will see next week. It's been a fun series, a lot of work, really trying to fine tune the vehicle to get it where we want. But this week, one last topic that we haven't covered, and it's a direct segue from last week's topic. Last week, we put on these new RC four-wheel drive MTRs. These are the 4.75-inch tall version, and what we used was the foam that's included. And as it sits right now, the foam isn't too bad. It's got a decent amount of support, and it's nice and firm, but RC four-wheel drive foams notoriously break down pretty quickly, just like most stock foams, so nothing to be surprised about there. And most of the foams that come in tires are just there to get you by until you can really fully realize the performance of that tire with a nice set of foams. And that's what we're here to talk about today. If you haven't been around this for all that long, you may wonder, what's the point of upgrading your foams? Foams are a huge part of the performance of your tire. Now, we talked last week about vented versus non-vented and why I prefer to run a vented setup, and that's to allow the foam to do its job and not have to fight air pressure at the same time. And what I mean by doing its job is that the foam needs to hold the tire upright and not allow the tire to roll under the beadlock wheel, or a non-beadlock wheel just the same. And what you'll find, if that is the case, is that you're almost running on the sidewall of the tire rather than on the tread where you want to be. That's a problem because A, the sidewall of your tire isn't meant to have the traction that the actual treaded part is, and B, you're also losing tire height. Unless you planned on running that truck with a effective 2.5 or 3-inch diameter, you're probably gonna want to make sure that you're fully utilizing the effective radius of your tires. So today, what we have is we've got a bunch of options from Crawler Innovation. We're gonna go through some setups and kind of along the routes that I've tried in the past. However, basically everything that I have here is new. So we're actually gonna be trying some things, but they're very similar to the things that I've liked to run in the past and we're gonna continue to do today. But at the same time, we're gonna do a little experimenting just because that's part of the fun, and learning what we like and how we like to drive our trucks is a big part of this hobby. So if you don't experiment, you'll never know what you fully like to see in the end, which is one of those things that you see all the time in this hobby. People ask an opinion on something and somebody gives their opinion and you find out that that's just the only thing that they've done. They think the performance of their truck is great at doing something, but it's because they've never tried an alternative. So try an alternative. If you've never tried nice foams, try nice foams. You'll see that while you may have been happy with the performance of your truck before, once you upgrade to something or try something different, you may find that that works better even for you, even in the situation where you thought previously you couldn't be doing any better. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take the wheels and tires off of this truck and start taking a look at different foam options. I also tune foams differently from front to rear, so it's also important to make sure that you know which set of tires is going to go in which place permanently. For this truck, it's pretty easy because we've got these stainless brake weights on the front, so it's always easy to tell which are our front wheels versus our rear. So we'll pop the wheels and tires off the truck and set it aside. So with the front and rear wheels removed from the vehicle, we're gonna start talking a little bit about the options that we've got here on the side. I've worked with Crawler Innovations for a really long time and always really trusted their advice on tire foams. I've tried a ton of the different ones, from single stage closed cell, single stage open cell, multi-staged closed cell, open cell combos, and this time he released some brand new options. And these are a closed cell foam again, but these are actually a dual stage option. So the inner foam is actually a little bit firmer version. I believe that this inner foam is actually made out of the same foam as these cell block car stands are. Sidebar, if you've never used a cell block or don't have any, pick one up on your next order. They're one of my favorite little accessories. They fit any car pretty well, and they come in a bunch of different heights and sizes, shapes, all kinds of different things. But they conform to the links or things like that that you have on your vehicle. So if you ever used a rigid stand and maybe the car doesn't fit perfectly, and depending on the weight bias, it may not sit as even, these are just great. They conform, super handy to have. Definitely one of my favorite shop accessories. But nonetheless, That's what this inner ring is made from. And then we've got the standard closed cell foam around the outside of it. Now this option is brand new, just released last week, I believe. And it comes in two different sizes. One is the Rock Beast size, which is referring to the original Rock Beast, which was a shorter tire, somewhere around like a 4¼ inch or so, maybe a little bit taller, 4.5. But then it also comes in a Rock Beast XL size, or most XL tires were 4.75 inches tall, which is what we have with these RC four-wheel drive Wranglers. But I'm actually gonna play around a little bit as well, because with this new dual stage, that outside diameter will also work with some of the other tuning foam options. And these are an open cell outer foam. And these come in soft, medium, and firm rates. So what I'm gonna do, I think I'm going to use the Rock Beast size, which is actually a little bit shorter. And then I'm going to play around slightly with some of these other foam options around the outside. It will effectively give me 3 stages of foam, which may or may not be necessary, but I think that it'll be nice to try. This here is that XL size, and I'll give you a size comparison compared to the ones that I've got here in front of me. So this here is the XL, and this is the standard height. And the overall height difference is probably only about 1/4 inch total. So you're not looking at a drastic size difference, but foam tuning is really just about small differences in products. It doesn't always take drastic changes in the actual parts you're using to make a noticeable difference while driving. So for me, rather than overstuffing these tires with an XL size and then using the foam around there, these are a pretty narrow tire. I think that's why I'm gonna go with the shorter version of the 2-stage closed cell inner, and then I'm gonna go with a single ring of the open cell outer. If you're somebody who really likes to run in water and things though, looking at these dual stage closed cell foams could be a really good thing for you. If you're running a tall tire like these in a 4.75, grab the 4.75 version of these. The nice thing is with these, being that it's a closed cell, it means that it doesn't have like voids in the foam for it to absorb water. It makes them a fully waterproof foam. And while these foams aren't necessarily a 4.75 inch tall foam, they actually leave and allow a little bit of an air gap between the outside of the foam and the outside of the tire. And that's kind of what gives you that extra squish of the tire to allow it to fight for traction, not an actual foam layer kind of giving you that initial give. I found both closed cell and open cell to be very favorable at times, depending on the trucks. I used to run a lot of single staged closed cell foams in some of my higher speed type trucks, like my little U4 Matzilla 1.9 buggy. I really liked that, and I ran a closed cell foam because it didn't allow tire roll so much, but that truck had a little bit of weight, supported it really well, which is great in all conditions. So different trucks and different usages of trucks can really affect your choice. But again, finding the right combination for you is going to be a little bit of personal preference and just a little bit of knowledge of what each of the components does. The additional foam outers and tuning rings that I was talking about, there's actually 2 pieces of foam here, kind of concentric to each other. You've got an inner portion, which is probably 75%, and then there's an outer portion, which you can remove if you're running a slightly shorter tire or you want a little bit less fill to the actual tire that you're using. I am going to throw a set of these in, but I'm going to leave that outermost portion out. To install these foams, the first thing we of course need to do is remove the tire from our beadlock wheel. Then we need to remove the insert that came in the tire. And here we can see just a standard single stage open cell foam. And like I said, these break down pretty quickly and you're gonna find that you have a lot less support for the tire overall. Stock inserts like this are just not something I would normally keep. To install foams like this, I'll normally do this in multiple pieces. So I'm gonna put that outer foam layer in first. You want to work it around and try and get it as even in there as possible. Don't worry about it too much, just get any of like the big wrinkles out or where it's completely ridiculously off center taken care of. It'll just fit in there nice, make sure that it looks relatively even. Then I'm going to take the inner portion of the foam and put that all in there. Once you get the inner portion in, it's a good idea to just kind of pull the sidewall open to make sure that all layers of the foam are generally sitting together properly and not rolled off to one side or anything like that. A lot of this stuff will work itself out once they get on the truck and just start rolling, but we just want to give it the best base we can. Next, I'm going to insert the inner clamp ring. And lastly, reinstall the wheel. Now for these, I matched the direction of all of these tires, so I want to make sure that I do the same when I remount these. The reason that I find this is important is that the MTR is not actually a symmetrical tread pattern, and you just kind of have to pick a version. They say they're not directional, but obviously the tread pattern is different. So if you want to make it match or look the same throughout the truck, you either need to pick that you're going to have the tread pattern all facing one way, or have it so that, you know, the similar styles are to the outside or to the inside, whatever it is. I'm just going to match the direction all the way around. And now at this point, it's just a matter of remounting the tire onto the wheel. This foam is definitely a little bit more stuffed than the stock one was, so mounting these is going to be slightly less easy than it was last week when we did these. So with the foam mounted inside the tire, you can see here, it does widen the tire out a little bit compared to our stock one here. And at the same time, I do have maybe an 1/8 of an inch less tire height because of it. I think it kind of just squishes it out. However, this tire would definitely not stand at this height for too long if we were running those stock foams. Once the foam breaks down, it isn't able to support the weight of the truck nearly as well and would definitely sag much beyond what the height we have here is. This one should be much more consistent now that we've got that much firmer inner diameter and then the softer outer. Now, I did go with a soft outer foam on the front of this truck just to allow the truck to conform to the rocks as best as possible as we're moving along. That firmer inner portion of that foam system that we installed, the point of that is that when you're on a very steep off camber situation, that portion doesn't compress like a normal single stage foam. Specifically, it doesn't want to move and roll out of the way. So now we can side hill and be confident that our tire tread is going to stay at the bottom side where we want it, allowing us to make forward progress in a more consistent and predictable way. This system will definitely take a side load much better than what we had before. I'm going to mount up the other front wheel exactly like we just did here, and then we're going to move on to the rears. For the rears, I'm going to do a very similar setup. However, instead of using the soft outer portion, I'm going to use a medium outer portion. The reason I use a firmer system on the rear compared to the front is that when the truck is climbing, typically a lot of the weight of the truck is sitting on these rear tires, and that little bit firmer foam allows them to stay more upright and not compress as far, allowing me to reach a little further and effectively kind of lengthen my wheelbase while we're climbing. It can be a small difference overall, but all of the small differences add up, and that's what we've been trying to do this entire time. So I'm going to finish installing these foams in all 4 of our wheels and then get them mounted back on the truck. So for the rear tires, what I've decided to do is actually make a little bit of a change in my game plan. Instead of using the smaller inner foam and then with a soft foam outer or medium foam outer as I thought I was going to do, what I've actually decided to do is just use the XL 2-stage closed cell foam, because overall the feel is really good, and I think that that's going to be just right. I am glad that I used the outer foam on the front, as I think it gave me just a nice addition to, you know, the tread stability. This one though, it gives me a nice firm foam, but it's still got just that little bit of air gap in that tire where I think that it's going to allow it to get the traction that it needs to. But other than that, I think that this is going to be a great setup for the rear. I need to install it into this final rear tire, and then we'll be done with the foam installation. And we've got all 4 tires and wheels mounted. Fairly painless process. It's always a little bit more of a hassle to stuff foams inside of tires and get everything seated back in place, but we got it all knocked out. Being that I never did drive these tires with the stock foams, and I've never driven these tires at all in general, it's going to be a whole new experience for me, but I'm confident that the foam upgrade is going to be something that I'm going to be happy with just for sidewall support alone, let alone the forward bite and the longevity that these foams are going to have compared to what came in these tires. This is going to be the last standard week of this build off. 15 weeks ago is when we started this thing, and we've knocked out a video every Wednesday since then. And that's not a small feat. It's a lot of work to do these videos every week and try and come up with a schedule, make sure you have parts, get it done, get it edited, and get it uploaded in time, as well as everything else that we all have going on. So, you know, It's been a lot of fun, but it's been a lot of work, and this is the last traditional week of the build-offs. And I'm actually really happy with how the truck has turned out at this point. After our last running video, we got to see how much different this thing was in general than from when we started. Having a stock TRX-4 on hand, which I've got right up there, I believe, was a lot of help as far as comparing them side by side. And in the future, I hope to do that again with this truck, as I haven't come up with my total plan for the future of this vehicle, but I don't think that it's going to leave me too soon. So I do hope to get it back out on the rocks at least once more on the channel to show you guys another side-by-side of what we've got going on, just to see where we can take it in the very end. I hope that some of you have enjoyed the series as well. I know that when I do go to events and I do talk to people, they always do like the budget builds. And if they weren't so much work, I would do them constantly and more of them, but just trying to make these happen with everything else, they make everything else. So as I mentioned, this is the last standard week of this build off. Next week is the finale, and don't necessarily have our finales planned out yet. Matt and I have, had laid out kind of our basic thoughts for these series ahead of time, but for the finale, really haven't come up with the, final goal of it. So for my question for this week, I'm looking for suggestions. What do you guys want to see happen in the finale? Kind of anything goes. We don't have to follow any rules. It's pretty open at this point. So drop your suggestion in the comments below. Hopefully I find a good idea in there. We pick that and we roll with it. So make sure and give your thoughts below. But beyond that, guys, that's all we've got for week 15 of the TRX-4 Sport Budget Build Off. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Hit the like button if you enjoy these videos. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell so you see future videos that may not be the TRX-4 Sport Budget Build Off in the future. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.